Welcome back to USA Trend Hub, where we bring you the stories everyone is talking about. And tonight, folks, the NBA is an absolute volcano of controversy, and at the epicenter is none other than LeBron James. The King has just unleashed what can only be described as a legendary all-time rant against the league's officiating, and the shockwaves are being felt across the entire sports world. It all went down after the Lakers' intense battle with the Toronto Raptors on January 18th, 2026. The game itself was a nail-biter, but what happened after the final buzzer is what has completely taken over the narrative. LeBron James, visibly and audibly furious, stepped up to the podium and did not hold back. He described the game as an uphill battle from the very start, claiming that the referees made it nearly impossible for the Lakers to establish any rhythm or play their brand of basketball. Now, we've all seen players complain about calls. It's part of the game. But this was different. This wasn't just a heat-of-the-moment complaint. This was a calculated, passionate, and detailed breakdown of what he perceived as systemic bias throughout the game. He wasn't just saying the refs were bad. He was pointing a finger directly at the officiating crew, and by extension, the league itself, suggesting a pattern of calls that consistently went against his team. So the big question is, what's really going on here? Is this just the frustration of a hyper-competitive superstar in his 23rd season, feeling the immense pressure to win? Or is there something more to his claims? Is there a deeper issue with NBA officiating that LeBron is finally bringing to light in a way no one else can? Tonight, we're diving deep. We're going to break down the film, analyze the most controversial calls from that Lakers-Raptors game, and dissect every word of LeBron's explosive post-game press conference. Let's start by setting the scene. The Lakers were fighting for playoff positioning, and every game counts. The Raptors, a tough and gritty team, came to play. The energy in the arena was electric, but from the first quarter you could feel the tension building. A few questionable foul calls here, a no call there. At first, it seemed like typical game flow. But as the game progressed, the disparities started to mount. LeBron specifically highlighted a sequence in the third quarter. He drove to the basket, a move we've seen him make thousands of times. There was clear contact, he went to the floor, but the whistle never blew. On the other end, a Raptors player initiated similar contact and got the call, resulting in 2 free throws. This, according to LeBron, was the turning point. He described it as a massive momentum shift, not because of a great play by the opponent, but because of a decision made by the officials. He felt it took the air out of his team and energized the Raptors. And it wasn't just that one play. He listed several other instances. A moving screen called on a Lakers big man that seemed phantom, followed by a missed moving screen on the other end. A reach-in foul on a Lakers guard that looked clean, while aggressive hand-checking by the Raptors went unpunished. In his press conference, LeBron asked, "What are we supposed to do? How can we play aggressively on defense if the rules are applied differently for us?" He even went as far as to say it felt like they were playing 5 against 8 out there. These are incredibly strong words from the face of the league. It's one thing for fans or pundits to question the refs, but it's another thing entirely for LeBron James to do it so publicly and so forcefully. The league office is undoubtedly in crisis mode right now. Fines are almost certainly coming his way. But at this point, it feels like LeBron doesn't care about the money. He's trying to make a point. Naturally, the basketball world is completely divided. On one side, you have fans and analysts who are applauding LeBron for his courage. They're saying, finally, someone with a real platform is speaking the truth about the inconsistency in NBA officiating. They're pulling up clips from other games, creating compilations of missed calls against the Lakers, and arguing that this has been a problem all season long. They believe LeBron's rant wasn't just about one game, but the culmination of months of frustration. They argue that the league has a vested interest in certain outcomes, whether it's to prolong a series for TV ratings or to create compelling storylines. While this is leaning into conspiracy territory, LeBron's comments have certainly given that side of the argument a massive dose of credibility. They see him as a whistleblower risking his own standing with the league to fight for fairness. On the other side of the debate, you have the critics. They're painting this as a classic case of LeBron being LeBron. They argue that he's one of the most powerful players ever and often gets the benefit of the doubt. They'll say he's simply frustrated with his team's performance, or the fact that, at this stage in his career, he can't dominate games the way he used to. They see this as an attempt to deflect blame and create a narrative that excuses a tough loss. Some are even calling it a calculated move to pressure the officials for future games. By making such a huge scene, the theory goes, the referees will be subconsciously intimidated or more lenient with the Lakers in their next matchup, afraid of being the subject of another post-game tirade. They're saying it's not about fairness, it's about gaining a competitive advantage. They're pointing out that the Raptors played a phenomenal game, hitting tough shots and playing hard defense, and that their effort is being completely overshadowed by this manufactured drama. So, let's look at the evidence ourselves. We've pulled up the key plays LeBron was referencing. That third quarter no call on his drive? When you watch it in slow motion, there is undeniable body contact from the defender. The defender's arm also comes across LeBron's body. 90% of the time, that's a foul. Was it a blatant miss? Absolutely. Now let's look at the moving screen. The Lakers center sets a pick. And yes, his feet are still shuffling slightly as the contact is made. By the letter of the law, it's probably a foul. But then, 2 possessions later, we see a Raptors player do almost the exact same thing, and there's no call. This is the inconsistency that LeBron is talking about. It's not necessarily that the first call was wrong, but that the standard wasn't applied equally. This is where the frustration for players and fans truly comes from. It feels arbitrary. The league's response to this will be critical. Will they come out and admit the officials missed some calls, a rare but sometimes necessary move to restore faith? Or will they double down, fine LeBron heavily, and issue a statement defending their referees? The latter could be seen as arrogant and further alienate a fan base that already feels the officiating is a major problem. This whole situation raises a much larger question. Is the NBA broken? Is the product on the floor being compromised by poor or, as some allege, biased officiating? The speed of the game is faster than ever. The players are more athletic than ever. Refereeing an NBA game is an incredibly difficult job. They have to make split-second decisions in real time, with thousands of people screaming and millions watching at home. Mistakes are inevitable, but the issue LeBron is highlighting isn't just about human error. It's about a perceived lack of consistency and fairness that erodes the integrity of the competition. When fans and players alike can't predict what a foul is from one play to the next, it damages the viewing experience. It turns the conversation away from the incredible skill of the athletes and towards the performance of the officials. And nobody wants that. This isn't just a Lakers issue or a LeBron issue. Teams across the league have had their own frustrations. But it took someone with LeBron's stature, someone who is essentially untouchable, to bring this conversation to the absolute forefront of the sports world. He knew exactly what he was doing when he went to that microphone. He was lighting a fire. What happens next is anyone's guess. Will we see a change in how games are officiated? Will the league implement new training or accountability measures for its referees? Or will this all blow over after a hefty fine and be forgotten in a few weeks? One thing is for certain. LeBron James has forced the NBA to look in the mirror. He has single-handedly made officiating the #1 story in sports. Whether you think he's a hero fighting for justice or a superstar throwing a tantrum, you can't deny the impact of his words. The entire basketball world is now watching, waiting to see what happens next. This is a developing story, and we will be following it every step of the way, bringing you all the analysis and reactions as they come in. What do you think? Was LeBron right to call out the refs? Or did he go too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and make sure you stay tuned and stay trendy with us here at USA Trend Hub. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update on the biggest stories. We'll see you next time.